Truckers, Part 21. And then it was time to put it all to the test. It was cold in the lorry nest and stank of everything. It was also a long way to the ground if they fell off the girder. Masculine tried not to look down. There was a lorry below them. It looked much bigger indoors, huge, red and terrible in the gloom. This is about far enough, he said. We're right over the sticking out bit where the driver sits. The cab, said Angelo. Right, the cab. Angelo had been a surprise. He'd turned up in the stationery department, breathing heavily, his face red and demanding to be taught to read, so he could learn about lorries. They fascinated him. But your father objects to the whole idea, Masculine had said. That doesn't matter, said Angelo shortly. It's all right for you. You've been there. I want to see all those things. I want to go outside. I want to know if it's real. He hadn't been very good at reading, but he'd tried until his brain hurt when the stationery found him some books with lorries on the front. Now he probably knew more about them than any other gnome. Which wasn't a lot, Masculine had to admit. He listened to Angelo muttering to himself as he struggled into the straps. Gear, he said. Shift. Steering wheel. Wipers. Auto transmission. Breaker brake. Good buddy. Smoky. Double egg and chips and beans. Yorkie bar. Truckers. He looked up and smiled thinly at Masculine. Ready, he said. Now remember, said Masculine, they don't always leave the windows open, so if they're closed, one pull on the rope and we'll pull you back up. OK? 10-4. What? Oh, it's lorry driver for yes, explained Angelo. Oh, fine, said Masculine. Now, when you're in, find somewhere to hide so you can watch the driver. Yes, you've explained it all before, interrupted Angelo impatiently. Yes, well, have you got your sandwiches? Angelo patted the package at his wrist. And my notebook, he said. Ready to go. Put the pedal to the metal. What? It means go in lorry. Speak. Masculine looked puzzled. Do we have to know all this to drive one? Negatory, said Angelo proudly. Oh, well, so long as you understand yourself, that's the main thing, said Masculine. Dorcas, who was in charge of the rope detail, tapped Angelo on the shoulder. You sure you won't take the outside suit? He said hopefully. It was cone-shaped, made of heavy cloth over a sort of umbrella frame of sticks so that it folded up and had a little window to look out of. Dorcas had insisted on building it to protect outside goers. After all, he'd said to Masculine, you might be used to the rain and the wind. Perhaps your heads have grown especially hard. Can't be too careful. I don't think so, thank you, said Angelo politely. It's so heavy, and I don't expect I'll go outside the lorry this trip. Good, said Masculine. Well, let's not hang about. Oh, except for you, Angelo. Ready to take the strain, lads? Over to you, Angelo, he said, and then, because it paid to be on the safe side, and you never know, it might help, he added, May Arnold Brothers established 1905 watch over you. Angelo eased himself over the edge and slowly became a small spinning shape in the gloom as the team carefully let the thread out. Masculine prayed that they'd brought enough of it. There hadn't been time to come and measure. There was a desperate tugging on the thread. Masculine peered down. Angelo was a small shape a metre or so below him. If anything should happen to me, no one is to eat Bobo, he called up. Don't you worry, said Masculine. You're going to be all right. Yes, I know, but if I'm not, Bobo is to go to a good home, said Angelo. Right you are, a good home, yes. Where they don't eat rat, promise? No rat eating, fine, said Masculine. Angelo nodded. The gang started to pay out the thread again. Then Angelo was down and hurrying across the sloping roof to the side of the cab. It made Masculine dizzy just to look down at him. The figure disappeared. After a while came two tugs, meaning pay out more thread. They let it slip past gradually. And then there were 3 tugs, faint but, well, 3. And a few seconds later, they came again. Masklin let out his breath in a whoosh. Angelo has landed, he said. Pull the thread back up. We'll leave it here in case, for when he comes back. He risked another look at the forbidding bulk of the lorry. The lorries went out, the lorries came back, and it was the considered opinion of gnomes like Dorcas that they were the same lorries. They went out loaded with goods, and they came back loaded with goods. And why Arnold Brothers established 1905 felt the need to let the goods out for the day was beyond anyone's understanding. All that was known with any certainty was that they were always back within a day or 2 at the most. Masklin looked down at the lorry which now contained the explorer Angelo. Where would it go? What would happen to it? What would Angelo see before he came back again? If he didn't come back, what would Masklin tell his parents? That someone had to go? That he'd begged to go? That they had to see how a lorry was driven? That everything depended on him? Somehow, he knew, it wouldn't sound very convincing in those circumstances. Dorcas leaned over next to him. It'll be a job and a half getting everyone down this way, he said. I know, said Masklin. We'll have to think of some better way. The inventor pointed down towards one of the other silent lorries. There's a little step there, he said. Just by the driver's door. Look. If we could get to that and get a rope around the handle. Masklin shook his head. It's too far up, he said. It's a small step for a man, but a giant leap for gnome kind.